Alrighty, getting things started. Just checking if the stream is coming through. So far, not seeing it pop up. Alright, there it is. And just taking a look at my backup laptop, making sure everything is looking good. We got Ashley, hi again, Killian, and Charles Buchanan. Hello, everyone. Alright, this might be fairly short stream, just showing some of the results I got from trying a method of making POV art. We're doing a I'm gonna say a low angle perspective. So yesterday I asked people to make suggestions, and I went with Elise from Dan Versus, mostly since I already had an asset of her. So let me show you what I did. Elongated Man is here. Hello. Mermaid Kitty. No, we just started Mermaid Kitty. No worries. And oh, Superior Cyber Godzilla's here. No, it's still pretty early. Alright, what I've seen from making art from a POV from the method that I showed the other day. In Community tab, there's the art for it with Amethyst. Basically, you have several lines. Actually, let me take away these lines really quick. So this is the basic setup for it. We have the tiny person, which in this case is Dan. We have what they can see straight ahead, which in this case would be the cuffs of Elise's pants. He'd be on the same level as her shoes. This is what he'd be able to see looking straight up, which is, you know, nothing, and just the sky. And then intersecting these two areas is going to be the 45-degree angle line. So in this case with Elise, he'd be catching like midway down her leg. What you're basically doing is you're drawing other lines that are going to intersect with basically points in his vision that are going to be up in front. So like the knee, waist, chest, nose, lips. And I made these points here to show which parts are going to be in front. And then this is how we'd take those elements. This is the same sort of graph right here. And how we basically format it for when you're drawing, you know, sort of like in a portrait. And it's basically making these lines line up. And again, there's examples of this that I posted on the community tab. There's 2 images of amethyst. I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to set it up right here. Oops. I'm missing some... Anthony is here. Already posting my sketch of amethyst. Oh, cool. Oh, from the Steven Universe movie. Lisa Loud's here. You're gonna miss the live stream tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'll try to do it earlier if possible. No, Charles, we just started. Yeah, if people are interested in this, I might do more, so more people have a chance to maybe get the character they wanted a POV of. But yeah, I wanted to try this out just because usually when I do it, I keep it very simple. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. Just want to line these up first. Sorry, this thing a little bit of time. Alright, that's got it. Alright, so see how everything lines up from this grid with this grid right here? And then these lines, it's basically just forming sort of a grid right here. And then it's just sort of matching the details that are going to be sort of first and foremost that Dan is seeing. So like sort of the midpoint of the chest would be around here. Nose would be up here. Waist would be here. And just so on and so forth. Now, like I was going to say, this is usually a little bit more complex than what I usually attempt when I'm making a sort of a low angle perspective drawing, or POV of a character, of what a tiny person is seeing, basically looking up at a giant person. Usually I'll just draw 2 lines like this. Actually, draw 1 line, copy paste it, reflect it. And then we're going to have 3 sections. Topmost is going to be smaller, medium, large. Head would fit here, torso and waist and the legs. And then depending on how extreme the angle is that they're looking at, you could sort of move it out a little bit. So for like an extreme view, like where you can barely see the top of the person's head, the lines you bring them in closer. You make the distance between these lines smaller. And at that point, it's mostly just like legs that you're looking at. But yeah, this is like a very simple method of doing POV. Oops, let me draw that a different color. This is what I mostly do, especially when I'm making like simple cartoon characters. Direction they're looking at there. Just to give you a basic idea of like when I'm making something like sort of quick, like just some basic lines. Like if I want to really like short on time, working on a POV. Or I just need something simple. Like something like that usually gets me the results I need. Actually, I did do some POVs I could show in a little bit for the next Grande house, which I'm hoping I'll have ready by Saturday. But yeah, this is the one I tried. I did some practice with it. Oh, Rory Ocelot's here. Hello. Lisa, you have classes from 3 to 7 p.m. I think you mentioned you're in college. Regis factor. This little foot is actually good. Not sure which foot you're talking about. Talking about this one? Later, Charles. Take your time. Right, but yeah, this is basically what I drew. I kind of wanted to have something drawn for the little thumbnail that I made for the stream. So yeah, I lined things up here when I was drawing. So point of the nose, this line right here, lips right here. Hair, I didn't draw the line for, but I can do it right now just as an example. So Dan, when he's looking at this angle, he'd see, I'd say the topmost part of the hair that he would see would be right here. Just bring that line up. And then when we put on our grid here, oh, actually we can bring that a little bit higher. So this is a really good way to, it takes a little bit longer, a little bit more planning, but it's a really good way to make your POV art, you know. I just find it fascinating because it's like you get to scale the character, how far away the other person is, you know, that they're looking at. You could also adjust things if, for example, instead of Elise looking straight ahead and not noticing Dan, if she actually did move her head down to try and spot Dan. Should move her pupils down too. Then you could adjust the lines because there'd be new details that would be more forward, and you'd actually be able to see her eyes and adjust it right there. So yeah, this was basic sketches here. This is another thing that I found handy, is taking the 3/4 perspective of Elise, put her in a box, kind of similar to the box setup we have here. Let me actually separate that real quick. But yeah, we can see how it's divided into different quadrants for the head, the torso, upper legs, above the knee, and below the knee. And you can actually make some of these lines bolder when you're working on the little details. Just so you know what details fit into sort of what quadrants are on the graph. Yeah, this is a general idea of what Dan would see if he was getting close enough to Elise at a tiny size. Hey, the mermaid kitty. Let's see, how much time do I have? I think before I do that POV, where was it? There it is. Alright, actually, I'm gonna set up the Casa Grandes thing I've been working on. This one was actually a commission on our Patreon. And I did actually do a few POVs on that one. It will be spoilers, though, for anyone not interested in spoilers. So just sort of giving you all a heads up. Oh, we got Crazed Chorus here. Jasmine Freitas. And Kaz. And Andre. Hello, y'all. Let me see. Almost done pulling it up. Alright, I did two POVs, but I'll just show one of them that I did. Just need to... Alright. Actually pretty happy with this one. Alright, and here it is. I'm just showing off a little scene from it. Actually, I did do a little GIF during one of my streams, and people had mistaken it for Read Aloud. Let's see if I could pull it up. It was this one. But I wonder if anyone recognizes who this character is. She was on an episode of The Loud House. Kind of one-shot character, I think. But yeah, when I drew her, I used my usual very simple method to get the POV done. Well done, Grace4. But yeah, very simple method for doing the POV, for where the legs were going to go, how big were they, how much of the space they take up. And because she's a cartoon character and the heads are usually much bigger than normal, it's going to take up more space. And I was pretty happy with how the foot came out, to get that good sense of scale. Yeah, hopefully this will be ready by Saturday. Carly Miller was in an episode of The Loud House that involved Lincoln thinking that their neighbors were spies. And by the end of that episode, she sort of has a vendetta against the Loud family. Alrighty. And with that, I think I will add some color to this and call it a day. And usually when I'm working on these, since the taller shapes are going to be sort of behind everything else, I usually start with what's up front, which in this case is going to be her shoes. And since this is largely going to be almost like a mirror image, symmetrical, that's the word I was looking for. Since it's going to be practically symmetrical, I could actually do one leg and then copy, flip it, and paste it. Seeing a lot of flags here from Alan Isaac. Are those all the languages you can speak? If so, I'm very impressed. Aiden's here. I'm the goat. I really appreciate that. Oh, today I got to take a preview from Rainbow Heart, which some of you might know as the artist who commissioned some an animator, 3D animator, to make a 3D version of the Pomni animation I made. with her going through a magic door. Uh, they were planning on making doing the same thing with the Hat Kid animation that I was commissioned to do. So maybe fairly soon we'll see a 3D version of that. It'll likely be on Twitter again. Though I am trying to convince the artist behind that. I believe his name is Cloud Strife. I convince him, want to convince him to try his hand at a YouTube channel. I think he'd be very successful. And if he did, I'd actually look forward to maybe doing some kind of art trades sometime. Like, I'll do one of his animations in 2D, and he can do the same with my stuff in 3D. That'd be a lot of fun. But that's something for another day, whenever I am able to get in contact with them. Would love to see more people on YouTube that do fun, sizey stuff. Will there be a giant star versus? I haven't really thought a lot about star versus, just because the show ended a while back. But certainly, if someone on our Patreon requested it, we could make some star versus art. How was your day? Mine was pretty good. Oh wait, Kanan's in the bathroom. I'll have to wait. Uzi. Oh, Uzi, you took out the Padoozy? You only missed about half the stream. It's okay. Always tomorrow. Will there be a TMNT with Karai? I prefer her over April. She's a far better character. I guess it depends on which Karai you're talking about. And which April you're talking about. I think everyone has different opinions. I mean, if we're talking about like April from the 80s series, yeah, she's not too interesting on the surface level. She mostly reports. She gets damsel in distress. But the April from the 2012 series was pretty interesting. We never got to learn a whole lot about some of the odd things going on with her. About her being a human alien hybrid. Like, how did that happen? Yeah, but that April did some cool stuff. She got to train with Splinter. She learned how to use some alien powers to fight. Pride's pretty interesting too. Usually related to Shredder in some way. Shredder's daughter, or in the case of the 2012 series, I'd say adopted daughter, though. Adopted in the worst possible terms. Welcome back, Kaden. I was just saying that I was having a pretty decent day today. Alright, yeah, 2012. That's what I figured. But yeah, I'd say they're both interesting in their own way. Yeah, I don't think I've ever thought of doing anything with Karai. I mean, it's usually been like my favorite character. I've mentioned before is Irma. Just because she was one of the first giant ladies what I seen on the TV when I was but a young, impressionable lad. And kind of in the same respect as Star Wars. Like, the only thing I could ever think of doing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is shrinking down the Technodrome and then doing shenanigans with it. Shrinking down the Death Star, shrinking down the Technodrome. You know what? Why not I get Padme or an April And Padme has a shrunken Death Star. April has the shrunken Technodrome. And they make them kiss. Making them kiss, and then in the inside of the Technodrome and the Death Star, there's like people getting thrown around, foot soldiers exploding, stormtroopers just getting flung about, Wilhelm screaming and whatnot. Animator, you should do a face reveal. I'd love to do that because I'm a very vain person. But also, I'm a very paranoid person. And I have been warned multiple times about the dangers of doxing. But we'll see. Maybe my opinion about face reveals will change someday. But for now, I'm pretty happy just letting y'all hear my voice and my insane ideas. I'd say if maybe my live streams could get more views, like 10 or 20,000 regularly. Maybe then I'd be convinced. Yeah, maybe I'll do a then. Yeah, like if my live streams were more popular, I'd maybe do a face reveal. But for now, just gotta be satisfied with my voice. Just remember what this line was here for. This is this has been interesting. Attempting to do the POV this way. Um, I think I like my way better of just sort of winging it. I think if I tried it again, if I tried to do another Um, I'll make another character point of view. I probably do it like my simple sort of just going by instinct kind of way. Also, I think it would be easier, like, if I was doing cartoon characters. Instead of doing all of this and all of that. Yeah, like I said, it's interesting. It's good to have this kind of strategy sort of like in your back pocket. If you can't find any good art references to help you out with it. I usually have so many references like on the sides right here, giving me ideas and inspiration. Yeah, that's true, crazed. I a lot of times I'll draw the way one of my friends talked about, which was you're winging it, you're sort of taking a look at it, and you're saying to yourself, does this look right? Should I? And you know, if it doesn't, you like make little adjustments. Until you look at it and say, oh, that looks actually really good. Not the most professional way to get things done, but that's kind of um, how I've done everything up to this point. It's basically, I've just been self taught, just improving little by little. And I'll admit, not everything always looks super pretty. But sometimes it's better to just get out there, try something. Elise has a very unique shape for her head. It makes me think about it like an acorn or something like that. I still think it It would look better lowered a little bit like that. Maybe... This is something that sort of happens to me where I'll sort of be finagling with like little details. And it can be kind of dangerous too, because you could end up doing it so much it doesn't look good anymore. Alright, I think we got a decent POV here. I'm gonna leave soon. Alright. You have a good time, Caden. Later. What dinosaur do you think is the biggest? T-Rex or Gigantosaurus? I'm gonna say Giganto. Is that what it's called? Gigantosaurus? The second option. Imagine living in a dimension of giants. It would be scary. Indeed it would. I don't want to be there. Actually, unless the giants were friendly enough to small folk. If it was like 50% giants who just want to sort of eat little people, then I wouldn't go there. 10% cannibal giants. I think that would be the minimum. Like, okay, only 10%. I think I could try and make a life here. Dang, T-Rex is the T-Rex is the king. I shouldn't have doubted the T-Rex. I feel like a fool now. Thank you. And Ethan is getting a little obsessive with pose there. Alright, later, Caden. Anyone remember Bleeposaurus Dragonfire? What the heck's Bleeposaurus Dragonfire? Allow me to look that up. That sounds delightful. Bleeposaurus Dragon. It looks like it's a book. Or a video game? Never heard of it. No, Rory, it just gets a little spammy when someone's basically asking for the same thing over and over again. And it can get a little inappropriate if, for example, they're asking people to do certain things. I don't want anyone here to feel uncomfortable, because that's not what we're about. I just noticed one detail. So her hair sort of stops around the neck right here. So that's one thing that was throwing me off. It's like there's something here that's definitely not right. Alright. I think I'll be satisfied with this. And we're getting close to the hour mark. So I will take a moment to check out comments, see if I missed anything. I didn't notice Dragon Knight. Virtual reality with giants would be awesome. Yeah, that could be fun, Dragon Knight. Bye, Caden. Oh, Nickelodeon made the game. I was looking at it, I thought it looked too cheap to be Nickelodeon. Thanks, Grace Core. Yeah, I usually add like a little bleep to some of my projects, just so I don't have to mark them differently. When I'm posting it on the channel. Everyone has their likes, but don't make people feel weird. All right, I guess I'll start wrapping up. Thanks everyone for dropping in. Not entirely sure what I'll work on tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is a work day for me on the Lisa Simpson game we've been working on, Attack of the 50-Foot Vegetarian. So I might actually stream some of the work. I wanted to get a start on the Mr. Burns boss fight, so that we could have a working demo ready for people to try out. Hopefully by the next month or the month after that. So yeah, I might do some simple animations for Mr. Burns. I might maybe program in a car. I have it. I program it so Lisa could pick up cars, toss them, they explode. I have the pink sedan, Homer's car, and yeah, the Homer. So I'm trying to decide what other cars to add, what other buildings I could add. So yeah, going to. I think I'll stream that. I'm gonna work on it like all day tomorrow, and I'll stream some of it. Another thing I'm noticing as I'm wrapping up, Elise has a long swan-like neck. I made this a little too thick, so I can actually Yeah. Much better. Lisa Simpson. Sorry, Lisa Loud. Yeah, Lisa Simpson game. Would be nice to see something else than a bleep. Yeah, I know. I just do it because it's the easiest. I remember early on I was doing some other stuff. I um I was worried maybe it would be too inappropriate. I think for one animation I had Timmy Turner pointing a gun at Doug Dimmadome. And then yeah, I have a hard time figuring out like is this going to be too inappropriate? Is this going to get flagged by YouTube? So I got a little lazy with that. But we'll see when I'm working on other characters. Like if I did something with total drama characters, it'd maybe be a little bit easier to be do some inappropriate stuff, slightly inappropriate. The Kush and Chef Monkey shows here. I'm at an amusement park. Lucky. By Caden. Yeah, I know, Lisa. It's a hard act to balance sometimes. So I'll just try to do other fun stuff on the channel. All right, going to call it here. Thanks again, everyone, for dropping in, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.